I want to make a really quick video and just explain that I'm going to piece together a clip and put it in the front of all these other clips. So it might be out of order a little bit, but I know some people just watch the first 5 minutes and the message and the story that I want to share. I want it to be the first thing. So if there's some things in this first little part that don't make sense, well, it was supposed to be at the end of the video, but I wanted to bump it up front. So it is after hours here, and I'm beat. I'll turn the camera around really quick, show you what I'm doing. So basically I did that little build out right there, and what I'm doing is sanding it right now. Ultimately, I got to get paint on it tomorrow so we can do the ceilings the next day. And on a deadline more so for myself, because I just want to get this done and be done with it. I mean, it's time consuming. I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm missing the family. So the sooner I get this done, the quicker I could relax, I guess. But I wanted to share a little story here, and I wanted to make sure this got on this weekly segment here that I'm trying to keep on going. And you know, a little lack of videos here and there just because we're so busy. But anyways, I had a customer come in the other day, and not only did he purchase an item from me, but he wants us to do his build. And, you know, he was talking to me a little bit, and we started talking about personal things. And he started talking about his parents. I started talking about my parents, and we had some things in common. If you don't follow me, or maybe you're just new to all this, I lost my father, unfortunately. I think it was 3 years ago on Easter. Well, Easter's coming up, so not close to 3 years. And I said I think too, because, you know, ever since that day, I try not to remember stuff like that as far as, you know, time frame. As far as the other thing goes, my mom has beat cancer twice now. So me and him were talking. We shared some stuff in that sense, and I won't go into detail on his life because it's his life. But when he was telling me his story, you know, I can see that he was getting emotional. And, you know, I think that night, he sent me a message, I believe, that night, and said, you know, it was really nice to meet me, and, you know, he's looking to, you know, build like a friendship with a shop, and he's local to us. So yeah, I said same. You know, it was nice to meet you, and you know, sharing the stories with each other. And the next morning, I believe it was, we were talking a little bit more. We're talking about our mothers, and he asked me, he said, well, you know, what's your PayPal address? And I didn't think anything of it. He's buying parts from us, so I thought maybe, okay, he was going to send us another down payment. So I gave him my email address, and probably within about 2 minutes, I got an email that I got money, and he literally sent me $100 and said, take your mom out to eat for lunch. I can't take my mom out to eat anymore, so you know, you take your mom. And it was just, I was at a loss of words. You can kind of tell probably still too. I'm still at a loss of words. You know, I guess why I'm telling people this story is, and you know, if you follow me on other platforms like Facebook Live, you know, I always try to say it, if you're not part of the car community, it's kind of hard to say in a sense like we're all like family. You know, and I don't think people get that, and you know, it's hard for people to understand. But if you're in this community, then you know, and you know exactly what I mean. So I don't even have to, you know, get into it. But and throughout the years, I've been doing this for many years now. I'm 37. I started when I was like 18 or 19. I had an option either to, my parents said you could take a year off, and either we'll put you in school. You go to some kind of school that you want to, you know, pick, and we'll pay for it. And I picked a trade school, and I went for automotive. Or they gave me the option to do construction with my father. And my father was a laborer, and it was a backbreaking job. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to go that route. You know, fast forward, it's not easy being a mechanic. You know, you got the back issues and the knee issues and all that stuff. But you know, long and the short, as I was trying to say, got a little bit off track. I've been doing this for a while, and the friendship that I have made throughout the years, I wouldn't change it for the world. And you know, this is why the job is awesome. This is why I love doing what I do. And it's not just, you know, pumping out a high horsepower car in the dyno. It's seeing the customer's reaction. It's hearing the story. And I got another story too from a customer in an email, but I'm not going to go into that yet because we're going to start on his project soon, and then I will. But you know, as I guess I put myself out there, guys are starting to put themselves out to me as well, and they're sharing their story, which, you know, it's what it's all about, really. And you know, as I always say, and I don't know if I say it enough on YouTube, but I you know, I try to say it on Facebook. Without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. You know, my family wouldn't be where we're at. The wife works here. The kids, you know, have to be here a lot of times because of schooling and the hybrid learning with COVID. And this business supports that. It's a true small business. So that's about it. I can probably go and rant and rave for a while, and I'm trying to keep my face out of videos. I'm at the 5-minute mark here, and I guess that's good enough for me. So I'm gonna get back to sanding, try to finish this wall up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little weekly video segment, and I'm getting good feedback, which is a plus, and it motivates me because I'm super critical of myself. The only other thing that I will put out there is please share and like it, because that of course helps me and helps the business grow. And if you got any names for this little, I've been calling it the Daily Shop Life. If you got any names, I'm not a big fan of the Daily Shop Life name, but comment down below, and if I use the name, I'll send you something free. T-shirt, stickers, some random free parts that we have that just have been sitting on the shelf that we either give for free or whatever it is. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully you guys are having a good day whenever you're watching this, morning, evening, nighttime. Take care, guys. Appreciate you. What's up, guys? So we got some brand new mufflers that we powder coated a nice black. So these actually came from the supplier. They were black, but they weren't black enough for the customer. They're almost like a chromish black looking. So he wanted them a little bit blacker. I think he'll be happy. These are going on the car in a little bit. He's got an appointment. The car was here previously. Dyno tuned it to the flex fuel kit. We were supposed to do this, but like I said, he wasn't happy with that. So got a lot of stuff going on today. Gonna keep the camera rolling. We got on the maintenance side of things, which we do it all here except body work. We got this Chevy Cruze, I believe it is. We replaced this piece not too long ago, the bottom piece, and now this piece is leaking slightly, which is fairly common on these, so it's a stocked item. We're waiting on that to come. We'll wrap that up, finish it up. We got a bunch of other little stuff here. Once this Accord comes in, I'll get the camera back rolling, but fairly early in the morning, just getting the day going. So we have the new part here, and if you have a similar issue, there's the part number for you. So what my guy was actually explaining was, you can see how this is one piece more so. The OEM piece is actually two pieces, so not only does it have to snap in there, then it actually snaps in the top too, like a quick disconnect, which, well, you see why it failed. So if you're having this issue on your Ecotech setup, which I'm sure not just Chevy Cruze has this issue, hopefully that helps you with a little bit of a leaky coolant problem. So we got the old exhaust off. We got the new exhaust going on. Pretty straightforward and simple. Got one muffler on. I get a video when it's outside, a little sound clip as well. Figured I'd get a video while it's up in the air so you can see underneath the shininess. So we got the exhaust all done. One of the things we do after every exhaust install is we'll put it up in the air, start the car, ultimately feel around for any leaks. These clamps are notorious for leaking. You know, it is what it is. That's what you're going to get kind of with a slip fit. These are pretty solid though. We got no leaks on them. Every now and then you'll see maybe a little condensation drip. I don't know if you want to call that a leak, but sounds good. I'll get a quick video of the customer pulling away. And we'll go from there. Just another job done. So we have a ton of stuff going on. We have this motor that just popped out of here. And this motor, when it came in, basically it was not even hanging on anymore by a thread. You can see at one point someone helicoiled this, and well, there's the results. So I don't know how long it lasted. Customer just brought it in like that. And then we also have over here same stuff going on with the transmission. So we're gonna have to swap everything off of this setup. Oh, that is gunky. We're gonna have to swap everything off of this setup, and we're going to have to supply us a block, but it's pretty much a bare block. It has pistons and rods. So everything will come off, including the oil pump. He said he wants everything used from this motor onto the other one. Of course, we're gonna use some common sense, and well, you saw that distributor being broke, the distributor cap being broke, so we're not gonna reuse that. We'll clean up a bunch of other little miscellaneous stuff too while it's out, because it's gonna be a lot easier. You know, if we can maybe fix this routing for them, since we're gonna have to swap everything else out too, we might as well do that. If there's a couple clamps that look like they need to be replaced, we'll do that. Maybe it looks at one point like the thermostat housing is leaking, so little stuff like that. We want to just make sure that before it goes back in, that it goes back in running and not leaking any kind of fluids. Might as well do it now while it's out. See, the axle looks like they pulled out. More than likely they pulled out when the motor fell. Pretty sure he was driving when the motor fell. The motor's not just going to fall when it's sitting, so it's going to need some new axles. That is what it is in that case. There's a lot of times too when this happens, we always tell customers 9 times out of 10 your best bet is to take the block to a machine shop. You know, doing it inside the car, it might work, don't get me wrong, but usually it's like a temporary fix. We've seen blocks literally destroyed like this, and yeah, this block is probably, you'd have to re-weld it, sand it all down. That's, you know, going to cost you some money. So we got that going on. We have this black Civic that we pulled the motor out. The motor's back in. Not sure if I showcased this one a couple weeks ago. Customer actually has 3 Hondas, or had 3 Hondas at one point. So one of his motors was good. One of them had a leaky valve. So we swapped everything over from the one motor to this motor. A lot of stuff went on, timing belt and such. Did a new oil pump. So we got that going on. And then we have this 9th gen. This one's been here before, and it's been on the dyno before. Last time it was on the dyno and experiencing some kind of weird issue, and I believe it's possibly related to oil pressure. So right now we're waiting on the AEM oil pressure gauge so we can hook that up. I'm gonna get it back on the dyno, and basically what's gonna happen at that point is I'm gonna see if we have an oil pressure issue, and if we do, then we're gonna have to figure out where to go from there. The customer will. Customer informed me that the block is used, and when it was on the dyno originally, the oil pressure T was just shooting oil out everywhere on the dyno. It was whipping around. It was going, you know. So I told him either way we had to fix that leak, and since I believe it's having an oil pressure issue, we want to get an oil pressure gauge on there that I can actually monitor while it's on the dyno. So we got that going on. And then over here we have the element motor. I posted on this one last week. So this one, the trans is getting rebuilt, and we're going to do all the timing chain stuff, which it's easier to take the motor out, put it on a stand, just do it all. Can be done inside the car, but like I said, once again, it's easier. Specifically also getting the cover on, don't have to try to wedge it in, the chassis and the frame, worry about getting the sealant smudged. The one nice thing too is we actually not only stock all these OEM components, we actually have one of these is a revised part number that it actually is a little bit better than the stock part number. And we keep all these kits in stock. So it comes with the valve guides, the OEM tensioner. We have a couple kits that will come with the oil. Down here, the oil pump chain. We have add-ons for that kit. So not only is it easier for us when we're doing these jobs, and we do a lot of these, but we also can sell these to the public, where you can go on our website and basically just pick it up, and we pick it off our shelf, and you're good to go. So we got one thing after another going on here. We got a bunch of other projects too, don't get me wrong. This is just me walking around the shop today, and then I have a little list here supplied by a customer, and he needs all this stuff, so I got to go ultimately build this up with Chelsea, and we'll get back to that on that as well. So this is just a normal routine day, and getting ready for springtime. We're busy. It's still considered wintertime, and we're blessed to be busy, and we will keep on ramping up our work, and actually we'll be looking to add another mechanic to the team. So if you're watching this, shoot us a resume. And as you can see, we got this car on the dyno, and we got the oil pressure gauge hooked up so I can monitor it. And oil pressure doesn't seem to be the problem now. Oil pressure is good, confirm that, and we're still having the issue. And this is going to be one of those issues that's going to be very stubborn to figure out. And why do I say that? Well, because the issue doesn't want to happen all the time. And not only that, we're getting no kind of helpful hints or anything from the computer. Right now, the tune is dialed in. Everything is looking good on Flash Pro. There's no kind of, in the data logs, there's nothing that stands out that, okay, there's the issue. So this is going to be a stubborn one. And you come across some of these as a shop owner, you kind of lose your butt on it, because it's going to stay on the dyno now overnight, and I'm going to try to figure out the issue so I can finish and complete the tune. Not going to charge the customer because he's been nothing but loyal. He's been a repeat customer, so as a business owner, I try to help people out like that. I know how it is. I always tell people I'm not a millionaire. I'm a blue collar worker just like you guys. I'm sanding my own office upstairs. Even if I had the crazy amount of money, I would probably still do it myself because that's in me. A lot of people, from time to time, do you ever plan on retiring? Do you ever plan on getting so big that you don't have to do it anymore? And honestly, I don't. When I take a day off at home, I can't sit still. And I usually find myself coming up to the shop, and people are surprised by that. So let me rephrase that. When I pop in and the techs see me, hey, it's your day off. Why are you here? I like to work. But with that being said, this one's going to be very, very stubborn to figure out. What I'm going to try to ultimately do now is I'm going to try to eliminate certain things. He has the Cortex boost by gear setup installed. He installed it himself. He did some stuff. He did some trickery, I'll say, where I'm not sure if that's posing some kind of issue. He said he was having an issue beforehand, and another shop replaced the VTEC solenoid. So, and when I do my other videos, in order for VTEC to work, the one thing it needs is oil pressure, which we know we're pretty decent with oil pressure. The other thing it needs, of course, is the wiring's got to be correct, and you can't have a bad solenoid, yada, 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 this and this and that. But ultimately, this one's going to be tough. And maybe I can get lucky. I'm going to basically try to not eliminate VTEC here, but I'm going to try to keep VTEC from kicking in and seeing if the problem kind of goes away. And if it goes away, then, maybe we still have a VTEC issue that, maybe it's a clogged screen. VTEC maybe is trying to kick over in the actual tune, but, it's not kicking over mechanically. So these are tough. These are the ones that I go home and when I go to bed, this is what I think about and try to figure out, hey, what can I do tomorrow to try to solve that issue? So, and on top of all the other work on all the projects, and I've been staying late lately to finish my office. I need to get that done, which I'm going to go upstairs here shortly, finish sanding, and I'm going to cut another video upstairs. And I got a little story to go into on that one too. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this content. I'm going to go sand.